All right, Glow friends, this is your Yoga Glow Quickie. We are doing a quick core focus class today. We are not going to waste any time whatsoever. So let's start on our mats in a Shavasana.
Let yourself take a moment to settle. You can take Shavasana, or honestly, if you want to do like a Supta Baddha Konasana, you can do a Supta Baddha Konasana as well. Bringing the soles of the feet together, let your knees come out wide. If you take Supta Baddha Konasana, bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your navel, and just take a moment here to set an intention. Great, so our core is tied directly to our Manipura chakra. That is the chakra, that is the house of our self-confidence, our self-determination, our self-motivation. And today's class is going to focus on my very favorite saying in the whole entire world. And that is, you can hit them with a plot twist whenever you want to. Right? There is no, wow, that was really bassy, sorry. There is no time limit or age limit on what and when you do things in your life. I love using myself as an example for this. Right? I am 33 years old and I am in the middle of making this life pivot, right? I have a full-time job working for my family and I'm trying my darndest to turn this yoga career into something that I can do full-time. And so, right, I'm 33 years old. Most people at 33 years old feel like they are where they're supposed to be or feel like it's too old to make that pivot. And I say that's bullshit, right? It doesn't matter how old you are for you to make a change in your life. And that change doesn't have to be something like a career change. It doesn't have to be anything major, right? Let's take Kristen, for example, just finished her graduate's degree, right? So like there, yes, I see that arm go up, right? There are so many things that you can do in your life at any point in time. It can be something as little as starting a new fitness routine. It can be something as maybe getting your dream car, right? Whatever the frig you want in this life, you have the ability to manifest it if you believe it to be true. So take a moment, set that intention. Think of something that you want in this life, little, big, in between, I don't care. Think about it. Think about it and breathe it in with every inhale. And then with every long exhale, I want you to release anything in your body, anything in your mind that's preventing you from attaining that intention. Take 2 more big rounds of breath here. Big, big inhales in. Deep, deep exhales out. 2 more big, big inhales in. Deep, deep exhales out. Last one, big inhale in. And long exhale out. Nice. If you're in Supta Baddha Konasana, gently close your knees like you're closing your very favorite book. Everybody hug your knees into your chest. Curl yourself into your ball. Give yourself a big old squeeze. Thank yourself for showing up for today's class. And then bring your arms out to a T. Legs and feet come into that reverse tabletop flex into the feet. Take a big inhale. Feel your low back begin to plug into the floor. On your exhale, let your knees come over to the left side of the room and let them hover. Don't let them fall. Plug the right shoulder blade into the floor. Really warming up the low core, warming up the spine. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, let your knees fall over to the right side of the room. Plug that left shoulder into the floor. And then inhale to center, taking a breath for movement. Exhale, left. Inhale to center. Exhale, right. Inhale to center. Last time through. Exhale, left. Inhale to center. Exhale, right. Inhale, come back to center. Extend your legs to the ceiling. Bring them to a 45-degree angle. Arms reach out towards the top of your mat. Lift the shoulder blades. We're going to take 100. So little pulses. Big exhales out. Maybe lower the legs a little bit more. For 4. For 3, scoop the low back to the floor. Last 2. Last 1. Hug your knees into your chest, rock and roll. Meet me in your boat pose Navasana. Hug right behind the knees, flex to the feet. Tap your right heel. Tap your left heel. Tap your right heel. And your left heel. Right heel. Left heel, hold center. Maybe you lift and float the palms. Cross over the ankles, meet me in tabletop. Shoulders right over those wrists, knees and our hips width apart. Setting up for your cat-cow. So inhale, drop the belly, thread the heart. Exhale, push the earth around the spine. 2 more, inhale. Exhale to curl. Last time, inhale. And exhale, curl. Nice. Inhale, come back to center, neutral tabletop. Reach your right arm forward like you're shaking someone's hand. Left leg reaches back, nice and long, toes lifted, hold. Roll the left hip down, and then little pulses up. Getting into that backside body, you should feel nice and warm. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Plant your right palm to the floor. Left toes tap like you're stepping back to your plank. Exhale, drive that right knee to your nose for a core plank. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the core, push the mat away. Downward facing dog on the exhale. Feel free to pedal out the feet here. Take a few rounds of breath, let that spine elongate. And then come to stillness. On that next inhale, rise to the tiptoes, roll yourself forward to a plank pose. Really pressing the earth away, knitting those low ribs together, your inner thigh bones working inward and upward. Last round of breath. And then use your next inhale, rock your shoulders forward over the fingertips, gently tap the knees. Bend at the triceps to let your torso come all the way to the floor. Scrubbing your palms back, shoulder blades roll down. Lift the chin, neck, and chest for your baby cobra and just hold. So your palms, maybe they just barely graze the floor. Really active in that backside body. Still scooping in the core to protect that low spine. Next exhale, everything melts to the floor. Push up to tabletop. And then just reset to go to the other side. So your left arm reaches forward in the tabletop. Right leg reaches back. Holding, getting really stable. And then take those little micro pulses up. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Plant the left palm down. Tap the right toes, curling into the foot like you're stepping back to plank. Exhale, left knee to your nose. Squeeze the core, push the mat away. Downward facing dog. Big inhales in, connect with that intention. Long exhale down. One more, big inhale in. Deep, long exhale out. Inhale, rise to the tiptoes. Bend your knees, look forward. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. Ragdoll pose. Opposite hand. With opposite elbow crease. Crown of the head super heavy. Gently rock side to side. All the weight should be in the balls of the feet, so you're still really active and engaged up the backside body. And then release your bind. Walk the feet a little closer together. Take a bend in the knees as you slowly roll up to stand. Shrug your shoulders up to your ears on an inhale, and then exhale, melt them down the back. Swim your arms up overhead, reach and extend them out, and big inhale in. Exhale, hinge and fold. Big long inhale, take your flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Plant your palms, step yourself back to plank. Inhale, rock your shoulders over the fingertips, maybe tap the knees, leave them lifted. Bending at the triceps, resist gravity as you lower. All the way to the floor, so strong. Big long inhale for your flat back, or your baby cobra, shall I say. This time, float the palms, lift and hover the legs. One more round of breath. Release everything to the floor. Curl the toes, inhale, push up through plank, maybe pass through tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, rise to the tiptoes, bend the knees, look forward. Step, walk, hop, you can float to the top of the mat. Inhale for your flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Ground down as you reverse swan dive, reach everything up, extend the mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Long inhale, flat back. Plant your palms, step yourself back to another plank. Option to take your chaturanga here if you're ready. Rock your shoulders over the fingertips, bend at the triceps, lower halfway, pause. Maybe you lower all the way, big inhales, upward facing dog. You can skip the upward facing dog, take baby cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful, bring your big toes together. Float the right leg to the ceiling. Bend into the right knee, open up that hip. On your exhale, drive that right knee towards your nose, core plank. Step your foot in between your two palms. Lift and hover your torso up off that right thigh. Fingertips come to the floor. Just holding here for a moment. And then reach your arms towards the top of the mat so your triceps frame your front ears. Ground down in the feet. Use another inhale to bring the torso all the way to rise for your crescent. Next, exhale, open up to the warrior two. Widening your stance, opening up the hips. Gazing over the front fingertips, take a moment here, pause. Maybe close the eyes, come back to that intention. Flip the front palm, reach forward, big inhale to reverse. Come back to the warrior two. Come to the ball of the left foot, return back to crescent. And then hinge forward, plant your palms back to the floor. One inhale, twist over to the right. Exhale, release. Right palm comes back to the floor. Step up to the top of the mat. That left foot comes up to meet the right. Bring your big toes together. Bend your knees, sink your hips. Inhale, chair pose. My favorite, Utkatasana. Getting into the booty, the inner and outer hips. Sorry for anyone who did leg day today. You're probably screaming. On your exhale, forward fold. Big, long inhale, flat back. Plant your palms, step back to plank, and just pause in plank pose. From plank, lift and hover the right toes up off the floor. On an exhale, drive the right knee to your right tricep. Step yourself back to plank. Lift and hover the left toes. Drive the left knee to your left tricep. Step back to plank. Last time each side. Hover the right toes. Right knee to tricep. Plank. Hover the left toes. Left knee to left tricep. Plank. Downward facing dog. One inhale in. Long exhale out. Big toes come together. Float the left leg to the ceiling. Bend to the left knee, open up the hip. Exhale, left knee comes to your nose. Step the foot in between your two palms. Lift the torso, fingertips face the ground. Really firing up the core, firing up the legs. And then sweep your arms towards the top of the mat. Ground down as you bring your torso to rise, crescent lunge. Next, exhale, open up to your warrior two. Big, long inhales in. Let your exhale settle. 2 more big inhales in. Exhale to settle. Last one, big inhale in. Exhale to settle. Flip the front left palm. Reach forward, reverse, big inhale. Come back to the warrior two. Make your way back to a crescent. And then begin to hinge the torso forward to plant the palms on the floor. Right palm to the floor, inhale, twist, lift the left arm up. Exhale, left palm comes to the floor. Step yourself to the top of the mat. Chair pose, Utkatasana, big inhales in. Maybe sink a little lower with the exhale. 2 more big inhales in. Maybe sink a little lower on the exhale. 1 more big inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Beautiful. Big, long inhales, flat back. Plant your palm. This time, step back to plank. Take your vinyasa of choice. Maybe you lower all the way. Maybe you lower halfway, chaturanga. Big inhales, upward facing dog, baby cobra. Exhale, meet me back in your downward facing dog. Bring your big toes together. Float the right leg to the ceiling. Bend the knee, open up the hip. This time on your exhale, drive that knee to the left tricep, twisting in that core plank. Excuse me, maybe you stay. Maybe you come into fallen triangle. So kick that right foot to the left side of the room, open up. 1 more big inhale in. Long exhale out. Plant the left palm back to the floor. Bring that right knee back to your nose, core plank. Step the foot in between your 2 palms. Ground down, rise up, crescent. Exhale, open up to your warrior two. Reach your arms up, straighten into that front right leg. Heels come in, toes come out. Arms reach nice and high, sink the hips left. Got a squat. And then take itsy bitsy pulses. For 5, for 4, 3. Last 2, you got this. And 1, sink nice and low, hold. Inhale, reach nice and high, bring your toes parallel, arms come to a T. Take a big inhale in. On your exhale, lower halfway for that nice flat back, tabletop. All of the weight should be in the balls of the feet. Next, exhale, release everything to the floor, Prasarita, wide leg forward fold. Crown of the head, super heavy. Last big round of breath. Palms come back underneath the shoulders. Begin to walk yourself back to the top of your mat for your low runner's lunge. Step yourself back to plank. And then bring your left forearm parallel to the top of your mat. Meet me in a forearm side plank on the left. Option to just hang out here. Or maybe you take your top arm, scoop it underneath your torso, and reach back up. Getting right into those transverse abdomina. Last 2 if you're scooping with me. Last 1. And then drop that right forearm down. Meet me in traditional forearm plank, holding for 3. Holding for 2. You got this. Test against yourself. Last 1. Left palm plants to the floor. Right palm plants to the floor. Downward facing dog. 1 giant inhale in. Giant exhale out. Big toes come together. Float the left leg to the ceiling. Bend the knee, open up the hip. On your exhale, left knee to right tricep, twist in the core plank. Maybe you stay. Maybe you kick the foot out. Make your way to your fallen triangle on the left. Plant the right palm back to the floor. Return back to core plank, squeeze. Left foot comes in between your two palms. Ground down in the feet as you rise up for your crescent. Open up to your warrior two. Reach the left leg nice and long, arms reach up, heels come in, toes go out, sink your hips nice and low. I'll face you. This time we're just gonna hold, isometric hold. For 3. For 2, you got this. Last breath. Inhale, stand. Toes come parallel, arms come to the T. Big inhale in. Exhale, lower halfway, pausing in that flat back. Exhale, let everything melt to the floor. Two more rounds of breath. Last round of breath. Palms come underneath the shoulders. Walk, walk, walk yourself back to the top of the mat. Step yourself back to your plank. Right palm comes to the floor, parallel to the top of the mat. Open up to your forearm plank on the right. Maybe you stay. Maybe you take those transverse abdominis scoops. 3 more. Last 2. Last 1. Maybe in forearm plank, left forearm comes down. Neutralize that right forearm, holding for 4. For 3. For 2. Plant your right palm to the floor, left palm to the floor. Downward facing dog. Woo! Big inhale in. Long exhale out. Right leg floats to the ceiling. Pigeon pose. Exhale, drive that right knee right behind the right wrist. Sink your hips back. Woo! Sweaty, sweaty, sweaty. Get really centered in the hips here, and then you can use your exhale to hinge and fold forward. Really breathe here. Feel your heart beating. Whew. Come back to that intention. Feeling all of that strength and connection in the body. Feeling the sweat dripping down your spine, knowing that that's all the shit in your life that you literally don't need. It's the stuff that's preventing you from connecting to your innermost being, from achieving all the things in your life that you want to achieve. Last big round of breath. And then just sit up on this right hip and begin to rotate your left leg so you're facing the left side of your mat at about a 45-degree angle. Hug your sole of your right foot to the inside of this left thigh. Reach your arms up overhead. And then take a big side body stretch. Right arm reaches to the left toes. Option is stay here. If you want, you can turn the torso parallel to that front left leg. Totally your choice. big round of breath. And then wherever you are, come back to a neutral torso. Turn back towards the top of your mat. Rotate that left leg back behind you. Meet me back in a really quick core plank, just so you can step your right foot back to a low runner's lunge. Setting up for a pyramid. Stand the ball of the left toes, leave your left heel lifted. Use an exhale to straighten into that front right leg. Keeping a little tiny micro bend to the front right knee. Think of working your right hip up as your left hip rotates down. So by keeping the ball of the foot on the floor, it's gonna help your hips stay nice and even. You have blocks, you can grab your blocks to frame the front foot. That's just gonna bring the earth up to you a little bit. And then I love to imagine my heart threading towards my front shin, so I'm in this nice big flat back. And just breathing up this front right hamstring. Last big round of breath. Nice. Take a big bend to the front right knee. Step that right foot up to meet the left. Little bit of a wider stance. Take a wide leg ragdoll. And just let all of your weight fall forward. Nice. And then we're just going to make our way back down in the opposite direction. So plant the palms to the floor. Step your right leg back to a low runner's lunge. And then if you want to grab your blocks again, you can. Stay on the ball of the right foot. Straighten into that front left leg for your pyramid stretch on the left. Big breaths in. And long breaths out. One more big breath in. And long breath out. Rebend that front left knee. So you're in the low runner's lunge. Drive that left knee to your nose for a core plank very briefly. And then rotate the knee to the left side of the room so you can drop it behind the wrist for your pigeon pose on the left. Sink into the hips. Make sure you're nice and even before you use the exhale to hinge and fold forward. I like to stay more upright in my pigeon. It just feels better on my joints, but you fold over to the amount that feels best for you. Big breaths in here. Deep, deep, deep muscle relaxing breaths out. Two more big inhales in. And long breaths out. Last time through, big inhales in. And long exhales out. Walk your palms back underneath your shoulders. Sit onto your left hip. Rotate that right leg forward, maybe at a 45-degree angle. I'm going to face you. Left sole of the foot comes to the inside of that right thigh. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Then exhale, take that side body stretch. Left arm reaches to the right toes. Option to rotate the torso towards that front right leg. Plant your palms, come to a seated position, and just rotate your legs to the top of your mat. Plant the soles of the feet to the floor. One last little itsy bitsy bit of core activation. Sit up nice and tall, crown of the head to the ceiling, reach your arms forward. We're gonna take a very slow yogi roll down for a count of 10, 9, 8, really plug the feet into the floor, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Walk your feet so your heels are right next to your glutes palms down by your side. Maybe your fingertips raise the heels, setting up for a bridge. Plant into the palms, anchor into the heels, and just like we roll down, roll up the spine one vertebra at a time to lift the hips, the glutes for your bridge. And then this is yogi's choice. This is the only bridge we're gonna do. So if you want to shrug your shoulder blades up underneath you, clasping at the hands for a bound bridge, you can take that. Last one more, inhale in. If you have the bind, release it, and just like we rolled up, roll down one vertebra at a time. Supta Konasana, coming full circle. Soles of the feet together, knees come out wide, point one hand to the navel, one hand to the heart. Still plugging the low back into the floor. Just connect with yourself here. Feeling really accomplished in the work that you put in. Knowing that you have the strength, not just physically, but mentally, to achieve anything in this life that you want, right? You can hit them with that damn plot twist whenever you want. And then gently close your knees like you're closing your very favorite book. Hug your knees into your chest. Supine twist on your exhale with that left palm. Let both knees fall over to the left side of the room. Really ground the right shoulder blade to the floor. Let your gaze go over whatever shoulder feels best on your neck. Inhale your knees to center. And then with the right palm, guide them over to the right side of the room, hugging the left shoulder blade to the floor. Inhale, come back to center. Give yourself one big final juicy squeeze, hugging your knees into your chest. Maybe you give yourself a big old little ball. And then take your Shavasana, so whatever shape feels best for you. You can take traditional, letting your legs go long, arms down by your side. You can take Supta again. Whatever shape your body needs here, just to come to some rest. Return back to that intention. Breathe it in. With every final exhale, release anything you're holding on to. Breathing and living that intention with every fiber of your being. Knowing that it's capable for you. Then begin to reawaken. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Taking a nice full body stretch, extend your arms out to the back of the room. Like it's the very first time you've woken up today. And then ever so gently roll over to one side of your mat and just pause here in the fetal position. Honoring the symbolic rebirth of the shedding of all the layers of protection that you've held around that heart of yours. The releasing of all of the blockages and the crap that's standing in your way from manifesting, attracting, and becoming whatever it is you want to become. Knowing that you can hit them with that plot twist, You can do anything and pivot your life to become the person that you were always meant to be whenever you want. And then when you're ready, but only when you're ready to be guided out into the rest of your Tuesday evening, gently begin to prop yourself up nice and slowly, meeting me in an easy, comfortable seated position with your eyes closed and your hands at heart center. We'll take one final big round of breath together. Take a big inhale in, suck in that intention, feel it, believe it, become it. And then a big open mouth sigh, exhale, release anything that's preventing you from attaining it. Hands come to your third eye, your seat of intuition. All of the light and strength and power within me bows and honors all of that within you. Namaste.